Throughout football history, wise men have congregated to bring you the best stats, predictions, and analysis of the game. These are not those men. 3 derelict Oakland Raiders fans expelled from clown school for shaping inappropriate balloon animals at children's birthday parties and borrowing the school clown car to attend a Murphy's Law gig in Brooklyn. With no ambitions outside of rodeo barrel racing and the Shiner Circus, they made their way to the rolling hills of northwestern New Jersey and established a home at the Irish Cottage Inn. Surrounded by Jets and Giants fans, they called in reinforcements and established a circus sideshow of their own, known as the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. Join the party each week on the Fan Club Blitz, a wild ride into the world of die-hard football team fan clubs from across the globe with your hosts, Splatterhead, Fitz, and Tom, Clown School Rejects.
Smokey Snowman and the Bandit. Bitch, you got to be Smokey.
Okay, I'll be Smokey.
I'm pissed off
Why is that?
because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, fuck it. Technology is screwing.
Yeah,
It's screwing us again.
I'm,
We'll get it.
I
We'll get it before the year mark.
Yes.
I got a nice interview set up for tonight, but my new mixing board that we bought doesn't want to cooperate because it doesn't work the same way as the old one that worked fine until it just stopped working one day.
Yes.
Maybe if our resident black hole electronics guy was on hand, Potts.
Yeah, everybody should call in and demand that Chris Potts becomes the producer of this show and he handles all this stuff.
Somebody needs to be the producer of this show.
Yeah, you got 3 dopes here that you know we're looking at just like blinking lights and knobs here.
Yeah.
A lot of wires.
Yeah. So anyway, supposed to have a nice interview with us tonight and the guy from the Raider Nation Rochester. And sorry, man, we can't do it because we're knuckleheads.
Ain't happening. I don't know.
You know what I say when we get hit with adversity like this? Sit back and have yourself a pineapple beer.
Right. That's going to be, I want to make it a new segment.
We're going coastal, baby.
What are we drinking today?
That's a great segment.
Yes.
We're Sweetwater. I don't know where this is from.
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yes.
I first had that down by my sister down in Georgia.
Going coastal IPA with pineapple.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I always like their 420 IPA.
Me too.
That was pretty good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And if you IPA people out there, this is just like a jazzed up IPA, because an IPA is going to have that pineapple citrusy aftertaste.
This doesn't have the. It's not a super hoppy IPA.
No,
it doesn't.
No, it doesn't have that. The hoppy.
It doesn't taste like somebody filtered their Mickey's wide mouth through a dirty sock.
I think it's pretty good.
It has that citrusy taste to it that a good IPA should have anyway. But it's good.
So I'm okay with this going coastal.
Listen to us trying to make it sound like we're not really gay for drinking a pineapple beer here.
Next year
we're not gay. If we were drinking pineapple beers and eating pizza with pineapple on it, then we'd be gay.
Oh, stop with that.
Then we'd be gay.
Let's just get that over with right now. For everybody coming out here for the Jets game next season, even though we have a game against the Jets.
Yes.
It's a Jets home game.
Yes.
I'm not until the schedule comes out. I'm not convinced that the Jets aren't going to have a home game in Quebec, and that's going to be the one that they, it's going to be a Thursday night Jets home game. We're trying out the Quebec market.
Hey, then we take a long weekend because they got good strip clubs up there.
Exactly. Exactly.
We do what we got to do.
I'll even eat their bagels, man. Their bagels are pretty good.
But back to reality. When all the people traveling from out of town, when you come out here, I don't care what you do at home. You don't put pineapples on your pizza when you get out here.
You don't put fruit on pizza.
You idiots that put fruit on your pizza. When was the last time that you sat down with a bowl of spaghetti and said, I'm going to throw some pineapples in here? That sounds good. No. So whatever you're doing out in the Midwest,
Yes.
or like, I got nothing against you. I know you guys don't have good pizza.
Yeah.
I understand. Maybe the pineapple hides the fact that your pizza's garbage without it.
It's probably ketchup sauce.
See,
That's what it's
when
hiding.
you get out to New York and you get out to Jersey,
Even Connecticut,
Connecticut,
Massachusetts,
absolutely.
you know, Rhode Island.
Don't go into some pizzeria and say put pineapples on my pizza,
No.
because they're going to do something else to your pizza when you do that.
You know, there is places you can get your pineapple on your pizza, but your pizza's probably going to cost you about $30.
Yeah, as it should. You should be paying.
Yes, your pizza's going to cost you $30 out here if you want pineapple on it, because you're going to have to go to those, the bearded knothead hipster
Right.
joints.
Yeah,
And it's going to cost you $30
it's going to have
for
something called vegan nut
Yeah.
cheese on it.
yeah, it's going to have weird
Shizzle.
They're going to have some weird oven.
Feel a little bit, more manly. You can order a
Hey, wait, hey, your
Yeah.
mic's going in and out there, Fitz. You were crackling. Nah, you're dead now.
Yeah, wiggle the wire on. There we go. It's the wire, I think.
Oh, brand new cable. We got it.
There you
That-
go.
There
that's
we go.
working.
There you go.
We'll just hold that there. Yeah, you can get that.
You go in and out.
Yeah.
You're going in and out.
It's odd. How am I
Yeah.
now?
You're good.
You're good now.
I'm
Yeah.
good now?
Until you go
Yes.
out again.
Maybe it's because I'm talking about drinking a Pabst with pineapple pizza.
Yeah.
Because, you people that aren't around that whole hipster movement, the good thing is that they embraced Pabst, which means you can
Yes.
get Pabst at a lot of places.
Yes.
The bad thing is they embraced Pabst.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. You
Yeah.
used to only be able to get Paps out here at like punk rock dives, metal
Right.
dives.
Yeah.
It wasn't everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
And only like
You couldn't walk into Buffalo Wild Wings and
No,
order
get
a
a Pab,
Paps.
yeah.
only broke losers like us drank it.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
it was
'cause
a dollar.
it was
Yeah,
a dollar
it was
drop.
cheap.
Yeah, you got a 16-ounce plastic cup full of it on tap for
a
$1.
buck. Yeah.
Exactly. I told you about that bar out in Seattle, Kelly's, that I used to play at, and that's all they served.
Yes.
Nice.
That's it. Pabst on tap, Pabst in a can, Pabst in a bottle. Going in, just ask for a beer. Bottle, glass, or can.
That's
It's
it.
going to be Pabst.
Yeah, who cares? I'd sit there all day.
Hey, Pabst,
Yeah.
Pabst on tap
Yeah.
is good. I like it. I like Pabst in a can.
Yes.
Yeah. But we drank it before it was like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guys that, by
With the man buns.
intentionally beat up
Yeah.
trucker hats,
Yeah,
and then
I-
after that
I
it
was
was the
stealing-
man
I
buns
was
and the beards.
Stealing that out of my basement when I
Yeah.
was 13, 14.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Before the guys that are dressed like lumberjacks that have the 22-inch waists
Yeah.
Yeah.
and skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Don't know how to start a chainsaw.
That's-
Like, they wouldn't know which end of it to hold.
They ain't,
And
they ain't
you know-
touching the gas.
Just one last thing quick on that pineapple pizza thing we're talking about. I don't know if you've noticed a lot of the ads or whatever on Facebook and whatnot. The pickle pizza. I don't know if you've
Pickle?
seen
That
that
was-
don't look good at all.
That was from a place in Hoboken, I think.
Is that what it was? I just seen a couple. I can't even read up on it. 'Cause
there's
I'm like,
there's this place in Hoboken. They serve really funky, weird pizzas.
That's because
And,
it's Hoboken.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the hipster,
Yeah.
not head joint. The pizza's gonna cost you $30.
Can you imagine if?
But they got all kinds of funky.
Crapola.
Can you imagine if the chairman was still alive in Hoboken? Old Frankie,
He
and he goes into a place and they're putting pickles on pizza.
he wouldn't have lasted
No.
one SantaCon.
No,
no
pickles, maraschino cherries.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Yeah, the chairman wouldn't have lasted one SantaCon.
No.
I don't think.
Yeah,
No.
go back in the day to Little Italy in New York and ask for pineapples and pickles
Yeah.
on your pizza.
Yeah.
And they're gonna find you the next morning in an alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, when you come out here, I'm telling you, you don't need anything on your pizza.
No.
You really,
Just
if
order
you've never
pizza.
had New York or Jersey pizza or Connecticut pizza, just get a slice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't need anything on it.
No.
It's the cheese, the sauce,
No,
the dough.
it's-
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And then you know what real pizza tastes like.
You can, get that. Start from there.
Yeah.
Just start from a.
And don't go
yeah.
crazy after that. You don't gotta go crazy. maybe
I mean, you see the glass case full of different kinds of pies with
yeah,
different
don't
stuff
do it.
on them.
Yeah.
And there won't be one with pineapple.
No. No, there will not be one with pineapple.
You'll see some freaky ones that got pasta and crap on
Yeah,
them.
no.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you won't.
yeah,
But
baked
you won't.
ziti.
But you won't ever see freaking pineapple.
listen. We'll give you some.
Or tacos.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah, no.
somebody had taco pie.
Shout out to Carmine's and Necon.
Yeah.
They make the absolute best taco pizza ever.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm gonna let me just give you my advice if you're coming out here and you never had pizza. If you like meat, if you eat meat, just pepperoni or maybe meatball or sausage. And end it there. If you don't eat meat, if you like black olives, mushroom,
garlic.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, garlic, maybe some sliced onion.
Yep.
I'm a sucker for black olives myself.
Me
I love
too.
olive
Yeah.
pizza.
I take an olive and mushroom pizza. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there goes your mic again.
There's people out here that get salads put on pizza, like regular, like Caesar salads.
No.
Still not going.
You're dead to me. You're dead to us.
Fitz has to get a new mic.
We're having all kinds of technical issues tonight, and we are not recording at the cottage. We're at our
we're at the Bat Cave.
We're at the Bat Cave, which is really cool. Except I just realized we got to get our own beers.
Yeah.
There's no,
It's not a far walk.
no, it's not a far walk, but
Yeah, we have nobody serving us.
So.
Did what?
Should we talk about the voicemails we got? We didn't get
Sure.
to comment on them last time, but
No.
they were on the show. So
Yeah.
we got a couple of tagline entries.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
We got Rob, our buddy from Salt City,
Yeah.
and then Raider Homer
Raider Homer. Yes.
left us a good one. What did he say?
Splatterhead and Fitz, serving up drunken Raider analysis fresh from the pub.
Yes.
It's about right.
All about that. Yeah.
That's
about
right.
right.
We got to add Tom into that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Tune in for their drunken analysis or
that's
something.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Hey, our drunken analysis is still better than the crappy ESPN
I'll
analysis.
plug him back into this one so you
Sure.
can hear us. And then that was Raider Homer. He says, when are you guys going live? But we can barely figure this out, bro.
We can't even get a phone to work.
Are you listening to this crap?
You know.
I mean, we had to. This is our answer. Jiggle the wire.
Yeah.
yeah. I think you're just gonna have to jiggle the wire.
It's It's by the way, if you haven't been really following, it's like all new equipment, new microphones, new cords. Jiggle it.
It still doesn't work. The guy that we're talking about bringing on as our producer, his solution to everything is there should
Kick
be
it.
a knob on
Yeah.
there or something.
Maybe if you flick it. Yeah.
So
and he's a master electrician.
when are we gonna?
There should be a knob somewhere.
When are we gonna go live? Good question,
Your guess
bro.
is as good as ours.
Well, you see, if we had a producer, we could probably go live on Facebook from here.
Yeah, Pops.
Sure.
Because, I have a good internet connection,
Yeah,
not like the Irish Cottage.
Yeah. Listen,
You know,
I have
on.
I'm threatening you. I have the software.
Yes.
We just
We need somebody to hold the phone.
we need somebody to jiggle the wires,
Just jiggle the wires, hold
twist
the
the
phone.
knobs.
Find the knobs. A master electrician, Chris Potts.
We got knobs, we got dials.
Yeah, we need somebody to operate.
I don't
this
even
stuff.
I don't even know the difference.
Hey, Potts, listen.
I don't know what this is. That's a lever.
It's blinky. It's a blinky thing.
Yeah. So,
But Potts, you're listening, Potts. We know that for one. Listen, your wife and daughter, they don't want you around the house. You're ranting and raving around
Yeah,
here,
they don't care.
yeah.
posting crazy stuff on the black hole site. Like, they don't want you. They get out and come and produce our show.
Trust us,
Yeah.
we were all in your position. They don't want you to.
Come over here.
Just get out of the house.
Come over here. Jiggle the wires.
Find the knobs.
Twist the knobs and make this stuff work, man. Because we're lacking in that area. So that's when we're going live.
Yes.
Raider Homer.
Yes.
When we figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
Or when we find somebody that can just come in here and all we have to do is sit down at these microphones and talk.
Yeah, we
Yes.
found him. It's just he's got to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rob. What was Rob's tagline?
Whether you're in Oakland, California, Syracuse, New York, Las Vegas, Nevada, or anywhere around the world, if you're not listening to the fan club Blitz, you don't know the Raider Nation. Raiders!
Good
Yes.
job, Rob.
And I agree
Yes.
with that
But
wholeheartedly.
we need some more calls and and try and mention, what I'm going to say right now. How can you find us? Well, until Murph kicks us off of here, you can find us at Murph's Fan Cave.
That could be any minute.
It could be any second. MurphsFanCave.com, and you can find that just go to murphsfancave.com or go to, wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be on there.
Googly.
Yeah, Googly. Steicher.
Yeah.
You can find us on Instagram.
Apple.
Grinder.
Well, you can find our Instagram page, which, by the way, we got to get Junior on that. We're posting some more stuff there just to follow us.
We're on we're on Tinder, Grinder.
We're on Tinder. Okay, cool. I haven't.
Oh wait, that explains those weird phone calls I've been getting.
Well, see, I'm single. The other two guys are not. So if we're on Tinder, hit me up, ladies.
Yeah, that Grinder.
Yeah, I'm not going on Grinder. That's for Potts and his leather chaps.
Hey, listen, I gotta throw back to the last tagline thing there. People, if you're in the Keys, listening to this show, go immediately and check yourself into a mental institution. Okay, because if you're in the Florida Keys and you're sitting there listening to our crazy, ridiculous, drunken escapades, you need to go and get mental help now.
No, you see, that's not the case. There's so many little nook and cranny bars that you could sit in the corner and get loaded all day
while listening
and listen to crap.
Yeah, no, but
that's part of the day in Key West is getting loaded in the afternoon.
Yeah. My whole thing, if I'm in the Keys and I'm getting loaded, I'm getting loaded like there's going to be sand and there's maybe some shade and some birds flying over and some ocean flowing around me.
Yeah, but you might want to put the wireless things on and listen to
hey, and people are doing that, and they're crazy. Sure. That's my point. I'm not saying nobody's doing it. Well, I'm saying if you're doing it, you might need help.
Well, crazy or not.
Well, I, for one, would be listening to the show if I was in the Keys.
Crazy or not.
My point, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Thank you.
Crazy or not. If you're in the Keys and you're listening to this, we appreciate it.
We do.
Because I would be at the corner of some bar, and I would have 10, 20 people around me, and everybody be listening to it.
Yeah.
And everybody be drinking.
Yeah. No, that's great. But you just
being it's the Keys, everybody be half naked too. So that I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, what's half naked?
Half naked. I don't know. That's that brings me to The Walking Dead. You see all these zombies running around. Half of them are wearing nightgowns and crap. You would have figured sooner or later the strap fell off and a titty came out. But you don't see that.
No.
Why?
I don't know, but who wants to see that?
And there's no naked ones. Nobody was doing it when they got turned into zombies. There was no swingers club full of people. All of a sudden, they all come running out with boners.
Nah, it's Georgia. They all came from church.
Jesus.
That's true. You want to talk about The Walking Dead? I don't listen.
I was watching it today. That was an observation I had.
I don't know how it is.
Observations of Tom.
These people have been wandering around for years. Sure, they got a snag on something.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah. But I mean, Walking Dead now. I don't know how it is. I mean, I live about 15 minutes north of here, where these two guys live. So we have a whole different set of supermarkets and whatnot.
Yeah.
You want to see the walk? I don't know how it is here. Walking Dead.
They have Acme's.
Go into the Acme in Sussex. The employees there. I mean, most of them are like high school and early college age kids. You want to talk about The Walking Dead? I just look around and they are just. I don't know how they're just like not walking into displays. They're just like. It's The Walking Dead. All the employees are Walking Dead with Acme smocks on. It's amazing. And I just don't know. I don't get it. I mean,
that's the way it is.
Wow. I don't know how it is down south of here. South of my area.
Well, I don't know.
I'm sure it's the same.
The supermarkets are pretty hopping around here.
They are. I do every once in a while when I stop at a shop right down this way. I notice that there's a lot of stretchy pants.
Yes.
And a lot of 275-pound women wearing them.
Well, of course, yes. Yes.
It's kind of like a supermarket Walmart.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yoga pants.
Yeah.
They're not for everyone.
No.
I have this theory. If you're going to wear yoga pants, try doing some yoga.
Yeah.
It's like,
that reminds me of the Mucky Pup song. Spandex enormity. Take your flubber buns and leave.
Yeah. And listen, hey, we're in no position to judge.
No.
But you don't see us wearing yoga pants.
No.
We know.
Yeah.
We know what we can pull off and what we can't pull off. I mean,
I go to the Y every morning. I ain't got bicycle shorts.
I was gonna say
on,
you're not seeing Tom going up on that treadmill wearing some some spandex bicycle shorts.
Me and Fitz don't care. I mean, we for some reason found some attractive women to marry us, so we at this point they know what they got. I'm not on the market. I got nothing to show off.
I'm still trying to figure out how Rebecca married and she knew me before that. I was friends with her brother, following the band around, whatnot. Like she needs to check herself into a mental institution,
probably.
And looking at me saying, "I want that. Yeah, I want the guy that." Yeah, no, move up. No, the guy that just had his 12th pint of whiskey. No, him. That's the guy I want there. Yeah, he's gonna drive me home. Yeah. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom and Fitz have magically disappeared on me, and I'm going to, as I said, we had some technical difficulties. Seems like we have a lot of those because we're three knuckleheads that don't have any idea what the hell we're doing. But we managed to pull it off, and I think provide an entertaining show. So right now, I'm gonna give you that interview that I promised you was going to be in this episode. And on the line, I have Kevin from Raider Nation Rochester. What's going on, man?
Hey, not too much, Chuck. How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good. It's nice to have you on the line.
I appreciate that, and it's good to be part of your show. Kind of just getting into, podcasts lately, and I listened to a couple of your shows recently, and it's pretty cool to be part of that, and to know that even off season, there's some ongoing Raider conversation going on out there.
Well, that's one of the things that we've learned from doing this podcast, because we've also interviewed. We're Raiders fans, and we like to stick to the Raiders, but we also like to talk to fan clubs from other teams from time to time.
Sure.
And one thing that we've learned by talking to the other teams' clubs, like the Dolphins club we talked to, Cowboys, the Chiefs, their off seasons are very boring, and all the Raiders clubs, we seem to all be very busy in the off season as well, either doing charity events or, just having get-togethers, man. I mean, the one common thing with all the Raiders clubs is that if you give us an excuse to, don our silver and black and get together and drink some beers and raise hell, we're going to do it.
Oh, absolutely. In force.
Yeah, in force, man. So it's the off season is really it's a time to unwind, but at the same time, we're always pretty busy in the off season, and I guess you guys are probably the same, huh?
We are. I mean, a big part of that too is, and it's unfortunate. I mean, the Raiders have been out of the playoffs for a number of years. So once off season hits, we start to have questions about coaching changes. This year about general manager changes. So we're always looking at stadium changes. So especially this off season, I mean, we've already got a new GM. Within the next couple of weeks, I expect we're going to learn where we'll be playing our 2019 home games. You got to wonder about the roster turnaround. I mean, there are so many questions with a team that doesn't make the playoffs. And I think that's one of the things that keeps us engaged with the Raiders. I mean, I hope to have some consistency of making the playoffs, so a lot of these uneasy questions at times don't become a regular habit. But that's just kind of the way it is. For our booster club, we're kind of in the point now where we're entering our 5th season. President of the club approached me at our home bar about 5 years ago, and he had just returned from his honeymoon in Oakland. They did back-to-back games, both losses, unfortunately. I had just got back from London that same year. This is 2014, when we got destroyed by the Dolphins. That was, luckily you get to enjoy Europe on top of making a big commitment like that, because that's pretty disappointing. But we decided that even that year we wanted to get something together, and he was going around with a clipboard seeing if anyone was interested in starting a booster club at a bar that has been a Raiders club since the 70s. So we continued that tradition after the other club kind of faded out, and it's pretty exciting. And especially as we enter our 5th year, this off season is exciting for us because we got a lot of fun things on the horizon. The draft night is always our biggest night. It's the way we open our season. It's where we do our shirts. And everyone gets together, and especially this year with what we have to look forward to with the draft as Raider fans, it should be a really exciting night and an exciting season to prepare for. I think you could agree with that. Absolutely, man. So what's the you mentioned the bar that's been a Raiders bar since the 70s. That's pretty cool. And it's in Rochester, New York. What's the name of the bar? So it's called Romig's Tavern. It's been around since 1951. And it catered to the main industry in Rochester historically has been Kodak. And their night shift workers needed a place to go when they get out of work at 8 o'clock in the morning. And Romig's kind of catered to them by being open at 8 o'clock. And that's why it's kind of been so popular with a lot of the blue-collar workers in Rochester and specifically the town of Greece that we're located in. And, it's great with this place because we have a collaboration with a local brewery called Three Heads, and we have silver and black lager on draft, and that's all year long, not just during the football season. And we can offer it, pitchers to our members for $5. We have a sandwich special called the Gene Upslaw, and basically it's kind of a Oakland-style sandwich, like a fried chicken with coleslaw on it. But it's a really awesome bar that we work with to raise money for charity. They're very hospitable to us. They give us, gift cards every week that we include in our raffles. And it's a really exciting place to call home, and man, they go out of their way for us. It's a nice asset of this place. No, that's really cool, man. And what's the history on that? How did they become associated, as a Raiders bar back in the 70s? So when the original owner sold the place, he sold it to a guy named Dennis. Dennis was a Raider fan. He had some other fellow Raider fans, and these guys started a club. And they actually kind of did half of the bar. There's a silver wall, and it's all dedicated to Raider stuff. It's like their Raider shrine. And it's awesome. It's a silver wall with just great Raider memorabilia from players that have been there. An original banner that says Romig's Tavern, home of the Oakland Raiders. Really special. And when we came in, they basically let us paint the other half of that room. So we painted everything black. We have banners that we change every year. One of them is a Raiders season schedule, and part of it is our basically our tracker for all the money we've been raising for charity throughout that season. So when I talk about, again, how accommodating this place is, they literally let us repaint it and put up all of our own stuff, and we're adding to it every season, and it's pretty cool. Nah, that's really cool, man. I definitely, if I'm ever up that way, I'm going to have to come in and check that out. Please do. You're more than welcome. It's a great place to drink anyways in our city. Again, Rochester's a very blue-collar place, and they have a rotating draft list with about 30 drafts. Like every week there's new beers on, and these guys are really big on local product. Rochester has about 32 breweries in our county alone. The industry for brewing in this area is just skyrocketed in the last 5 years. And because of that, the watering holes are popular destinations and great local stuff on. So you got to come give us a check out at one of these points when you get the opportunity. I know it's not necessarily a destination city. No one really thinks of Rochester in that sense, but nonetheless, there's entertaining things to do, and we have our civic pride here. Well, hey, man, we'll if you've listened to at least a few episodes of our show, we'll pretty much travel anywhere for beer and the Raiders. So right, we're down for that, man. Well, another part of that too is I should mention that I work for the Buffalo Bills. So don't consider me cheating on the Raiders or anything, but it is the only local team around here. As a result of that, last year when the Raiders came to Buffalo, we obviously did a big whole group trip. The president of the Oakland Raiders, Mark Bedane, is from Rochester, and his family still lives here. His sister Lara actually is a part owner of a restaurant downtown called Tony D. It's a really great Italian place right on the river, and it's been an awesome connection. My boss, the Bills, hooked me up with field passes last year that we raffled off for our club members, and got to go down the field. We met, Mark Davis, Mark Bedane, Cliff Branch, Willie Brown. It was incredible. And of course, we were kind of hoping if the schedule worked that way, we'd have the Raiders back this year, but it looks like it's going to be in New York, which is fine too.
New Jersey.
New Jersey, excuse me. You're right. I should be correct.
The only team New York actually has is Buffalo.
That's true. That's very true. And Bills fans will definitely tell you that if you're a Jets fan visiting our stadium.
Right.
As you might imagine. They're a raucous bunch like we are. And, I'm a tour guide at the stadium, and as a diehard Raider fan, we kind of have to recognize that Ralph Wilson Jr. was a big part of making sure the Raiders are still a team today. If you look at the history of when Al was ready to go bankrupt there before the NFL merger, that might not have happened if it weren't for Ralph Wilson. So both teams have a similar history. They've been, out of the playoffs for a long time. They have diehard blue-collar fans that show up every week and fill a stadium for a 2-10 team. That really shows heart and dedication. To me, there's a lot of interesting similarities there.
No, I agree, man. I agree, and I respect fans like that support their teams through thick and thin. I'm not
throw dildos on the field.
Yeah. I might not care much for their teams, but
right.
I have respect for fans that there's a soft spot in my heart for Browns fans and Bills fans.
Exactly. And the same with Buffalo, with Cleveland though. Yeah, it's another. The fan bases are very similar, and the makeup of the fans you get, and how tailgating becomes such a big tradition in these teams, because when your on-field product is kind of subpar, the whole party beforehand becomes more the event almost.
Right. And if you go back and we did an interview with Rob Rivera, who's one of the founders of the Black Hole in Oakland. And truth is, they were inspired to start the Black Hole by the Dog Pound in Cleveland.
No kidding.
Yeah. They were like, we need to do something like that in Oakland, and that's where the idea came from, was from those guys. So of course
that's
they
pretty
did
awesome.
Of course, the Black Hole, we did it better, and
Absolutely.
But at the same time, that's where the inspiration came from. So that's kind of cool. It was neat for me to learn about that. So tell me about, we talked about the club a little bit. You guys are going into your 5th year, which is impressive. What's sort of the history of your fandom? Did you grow up in Buffalo, and how'd you become a Raiders fan?
Well, see, I grew up in Rochester.
That's right, Rochester. Sorry,
yeah.
we were talking.
No, you're fine. We're only about an hour away. Same thing, basically. But I grew up in a household where my parents don't care about sports. They just don't. And in school, elementary school, growing up, everybody was either a Bills fan or a Cowboys fan or a Giants fan. This is during the early 90s. And I just always liked the colors of the Raiders. I liked the pirate logo. And I kind of stuck with them ever since. And I kind of had to choose my own allegiance. And, again, being surrounded by all those Bills people, it's like I don't want to just go with what the crowd's going with, even if they are somewhat considered a hometown team. That just didn't do it for me. And when I really started getting into football and watching it, this was around like the Gannon era and the Tuck Rule game and that Super Bowl, that dreaded Tampa Bay Super Bowl. That's when I really started getting into football and understanding it on my own. And then, it just kind of skyrocketed from there. And once I got the tattoo, I was kind of locked in,
Yeah, exactly.
There's no going back now. So, but I love it. I really love everything about it, and going to Oakland and being able to experience a tailgate out there. I was at 3 Raider games. Most recently, the home opener of Monday Night Football this past season. And that was, pretty awesome. That was my first primetime game there. But being around their fans and seeing the fandom too really makes you be proud of, being part of that team or following a team with such great tradition and true loyal fans. That's not always the case, as you know.
No, it's not, man. I mean, and that's another thing to be said, man. No matter what happens on the football field, we always win the tailgate.
Absolutely.
And that's being in Oakland, there's really nothing like it, and it's a shame that I don't know if we're going to see that again. But even on our away games, we still win the tailgates.
Oh, absolutely. Like that the game in London in 2014 when I went. I mean, that trip we went to other parts of Europe as well. So we started like Oktoberfest in Munich. And I saw tons of Raider fans there, like at Oktoberfest. And at the game itself, as you may know, the London game is a mix of every single kind of fan is represented, no matter what team it is. But there was still a heavy majority of Raider fans, and we can thank part of that to Keith Smith over there in the Silver and Black UK club. Our booster club was able to host Keith and his daughter Kelly this past August. I took them on a private tour of the Billow Stadium. They were rocking the flag right there on the field. We went to Niagara Falls, and I was able to really spend some time getting to know them. And it's just awesome. Like, there they are across the pond, and they have the same kind of fandom, more so than I do. I mean, they go really over the top with the outfit and the makeup, but it's incredible. And they've brought that passion over to Europe, where I'm sure the NFL is appreciative of that, because that's a market they're trying to bolster. I'd love to see more games played there. I know fans may be opposed to that, teams may be opposed to that, but it's cool, like, to have truly a worldwide Raider Nation. You know what I mean?
I agree, man. And so speaking of that, what are your thoughts on the possibility of the Raiders playing in Tottenham next season?
I think it's awesome. But then I think about the team and the kind of toll that might take on their bodies. How do you structure a full schedule around that? Part of me sees it as unfeasible, but I frankly wouldn't mind it, because I'd definitely be going to a couple games there. I'm hoping that we are obviously going to host an international game. Whether it be in Mexico City or London, it could be both. I definitely want to go back again. And especially, I would have gone this year if it was at Tottenham. But they made the change to Wembley. And, I want to see this new Tottenham Stadium. It looks awesome. It's a football purpose stadium. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
I agree, man. I think, we've had some discussion about it on the podcast, so I won't go, I won't repeat everything that we discussed, as people get bored. But, one of the things that I saw was that they're looking at doing, structuring the schedule for an NFL team in London so that they would play 4 games at home back to back, and then 4 games back in the States, then with a bye, and then 4 games back-to-back at home again, which in one way could be almost an advantage, because you're not, you got 4 games back-to-back at home. That's almost an advantage to you and a disadvantage to the 4 teams that have to fly from wherever they're coming from to London and then go back home again. So it could
That's a really good point.
It could work, and, here's what I'm looking at is, San Francisco, the Niners don't want us in their market.
Right.
The Rams and Chargers don't want us in their market. And the NFL really does want to test out how a season would work for a team in London. So I'm starting to think that they may actually go that way.
Man, I would really be open to it, and I'd love to see them play a game in Germany, and try some other stadiums that are that can accommodate that kind of crowd and that kind of field use, I suppose. But I think looking at it that way with that type of scheduling structure, that would be awesome because I would definitely plan a week to go there and hit 2 games and make it like a 2-week trip and be able to explore Europe. I mean, I love to travel and I try to go to Europe once a year. And it's cool to meet fans, like Raider fans, when you see them. And I always am wearing my Raider stuff because it's almost my entire wardrobe. But you see these people in every country that like the Raiders, and I don't see that as much as I do with other teams. I mean, maybe Patriots or Cowboys, sure, but Raider fans are really everywhere you go. It's pretty awesome, and I think they could definitely have somewhat of an advantage if they were in England. You'd still get a diverse fan base of NFL fans, but you could really boost the Raider Nation. Like, when you think about all those fans you would create over there, like, screw the Jaguars. The Raiders are a more attractive, appealing, and historic brand for that market. I think it works to me.
Yeah, I think, the Raiders work anywhere. So wherever we end up, whether it be London or San Diego or
Tucson.
Tucson, right. That's another one thrown into the mix. So, wherever we play, it'll work out. As far as the crowds go, as far as fans go, we travel better than anybody. And, and the fan base is just, as loyal as you can get. So there's no doubt that it could be a success. So I'm just waiting, seeing what happens. London would be cool. I know.
For sure. But yeah, and I that's one of the biggest questions I have now. And again, I expect from what they've said, we will know that information within the next couple of weeks here, certainly before the Super Bowl. So, and also usually the international schedule comes out in January too. So I'm hoping we can get some dates. But, maybe they're waiting to see if the Raiders do play there because then they'd have to announce a lot more dates. Who knows? Right,
yeah, exactly. So let's see what happens. So speaking of, they're playing the Jets. Are you guys going to make that trip?
Oh, definitely. See, the hard part for me is I'm obligated to be in Buffalo, for home games. So, I miss half of our events, unfortunately. The good part about it is, given we played primarily 425 games, I can usually get there by, end of the third quarter for those that I do miss. But either way, we're going to have our members there. I mean, they're going to plan a group function, and we're going to have a good showing. Our members travel pretty well. I mean, almost every week we have one of our members at the game, wherever it may be, whether it's in Oakland or elsewhere. We're a pretty well-traveled bunch, and the Buffalo trip was a big success. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do that again. And, for something like that, we're going to collaborate with those other upstate clubs and, do something real big for the Raider Nation. It'll be fun to host again for everybody. As you guys will probably play host down there for the Jets game.
Yeah. We've got, the 3 Black Hole chapters are working on stuff. The booster clubs are working on stuff, and we'll all collaborate. We're waiting for the schedule,
Isn't that like Christmas Day? It really is.
Yeah, once the schedule's released, then we can plan everything out. And we're just hoping that it's not, they're not going to screw us. The last couple of years we've been screwed with, we did Philly and it was Christmas and freezing. We did, we did Baltimore this past season on Thanksgiving weekend. But we're just hoping they give us a nice, week 2, still a little warm out, Sunday game, not a Thursday night or anything like that. But whatever it is, we're gonna rock and roll.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean, I love planning trips, as early as April. Once that schedule comes out and you start, looking at where these games are being played. and the possibility of doing back-to-back games in Oakland or, just I love that about football season. I mean, fall is just truly the most exciting time. I mean, kind of calms down once, the Raiders are basically out of it, and it's kind of depressing again, but whatever. Either way, we do.
And this season we still have, we've got two of our divisional rivals still in the playoffs, so that makes it even worse.
I know, and I'm actually probably going to Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. So,
oh, wow.
I'd love to, one of my hobbies is visiting other NFL stadiums, kind of seeing how different teams put on their product, if you will. Right. And, looking at the Bills Stadium, it's kind of good for my own reference. I'm part of the team member advisory board for the Bills, so we kind of work to look at positive changes we can make for both our staff and our fans. So, I've always wanted to go to the Kansas City Stadium, even though I despise them completely. But it looks pretty exciting. I mean, it seems like they have a great game day atmosphere, and I just want to see if it holds up,
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I love checking out other stadiums, too. It's, there's nothing wrong with that.
This will be the first time ever hosting an AFC Championship game, if they, in fact, make it that far. I mean, I hope they don't,
right.
But
yeah,
we'll
of course,
see what happens.
I'm expecting they won't, because it's the Chiefs, and this is what they do.
Exactly. And same with the Chargers. So I think we kind of know what we're going to get this weekend.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, if history shows us anything, then they'll both be done.
Exactly. Let's let it repeat itself, just like always.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. So, what, back to the club for a sec, and then we'll start to wrap things up. How many members do you guys have up there now? You've been going for 5 years, so that's pretty strong presence. But I know things, just like anywhere else, man, things fall off mid-season when the team starts sucking it up, and you always have your diehards, and but as it goes, people do fall off. But how many people do you have up there that are active and really, really into it?
Okay, so when you talk about active and really into it, that's one thing. I mean, we've got last year over 150 members, and weekly, it varies on the schedule. Beginning of the season, you have, we have huge turnouts. I mean, that whole bar is filled. Sure. And then as the season kind of wears on, the people are going to be there every week are primarily the ones you see, and you know who the real ones are. I mean, so to speak. But no, I mean they're all real Raider fans. But I get people can lose their patience a little sooner than others. You know what I mean?
People start going, instead of turning down camping trips and fishing trips and everything because they don't want to miss the game. Some people start going, I don't need to watch. And,
exactly. It's different though. I mean, we got a good group that we always know is going to be there. But the best part about it is people show up, and every week, we do raffles for our charity. This year was kind of cool. The last couple of years, we've been working with Champion Academy, and that's actually by former Raider Roland Williams, who's a tight end. He's from the Rochester area, and he has a program here in Rochester that's meant to help mentor and advance academically some of the more, troubled youth in the inner city. So we've been working with them the last couple of years, raising a lot of money for him, volunteering at his camp that takes place over the summer. And it's a pretty cool partnership to have with an ex-Raider who, came and watched the Steelers game with us this past year, which is pretty awesome because it was a win too. So it was a really fun atmosphere.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. And I give a lot of respect to all the booster clubs and other Raiders clubs that, for all the charity work that they do. And it's more than just eating chicken wings and drinking beer.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's a big part of being a booster club, and that's something that we're proud of. I mean, when we first submitted the paperwork to Morris Bradshaw with the Raiders, the requirements are, it's about really working with your community and doing good for your community, and that's what we've been doing, and choosing local groups that make a difference that we can physically see is even better. So it's fun to do that, and at our upcoming meeting, we'll be focusing on who we're going to pick for this upcoming season. We kind of want to do a little bit of a mix as we go into our 5th year and maybe kind of honor all of the groups that we've raised money for in the past, as they've been a big part of our progression as a club.
Right on, man. That's cool. So, before we wrap it up, one thing that we always do is I like to give our guests the opportunity to just sort of, blast out a message to Raider Nation. I mean, whatever you want to say, whatever's on your mind, negative, positive, whatever you want to get out there to the nation, and to everybody listening, now's your time to shout it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, the Raider fan base is incredible. I mean, the passion from Raider fans is unmatched when you compare that to other fan bases. And right now is kind of a difficult time for some fans, especially those based in California, based in the Bay Area, that obviously are undergoing the loss of their beloved team to another market, permanently to Vegas and wherever it's going to be next year. But I tell you, I mean, the best part about this thing, I mean, I look forward to having a stadium we can call our own. I look forward to having a stadium that looks like a black sports car. I mean, that's how they designed this. This is a stadium designed for the Oakland Raiders. I mean, I guess I should say the Raiders anyways. But I think that's something we all have to look forward to, having some continuity with our coaching staff, with hopefully our general manager, with a place to call home, not having to worry about that anymore. We have a lot to look forward to, and I'm really excited about it, and I know that Raider fans are excited about it. And April is going to be one heck of a time for us, and that first draft night is going to be exciting for all of us. So we got one of the best draft brains, now in charge as our GM, and that's something to look forward to. So I think everybody should be optimistic, even though times are a-changing, so to speak, but sometimes change can be good, and that's the way I'm looking at it right now.
All right, man. I'm in the same boat, man. I feel for the fans in the East Bay, and in the Bay Area, in general, because I'm an away guy. I live on the East Coast. I'm from out there, but I've been out here for close to 30 years, and so I got no skin in that game. I've told all my guys, listen, stay out of the conversations on social media and everything. You have to respect the fact that these guys are losing their home team, and it's not going to feel the same way to you as it does to them. And so just stay out of it. And some guys are going to react, out there. Some guys are going to leave. And I have to respect that. I understand. I have to respect it, but I want to make sure that we just allow them to grieve however it is that they feel like they need to grieve, and not get involved in the back and forth. So, but I agree that look, change is coming, and we have to embrace it. And I'm a Raiders fan, and no matter what, if they put us on the moon, I'm going to be cheering for this team.
Right. It
is what it is, right?
It is what it is. And the other part, too, is even working for the Bills, I mean, a diehard Raiders fan, the thing that I dislike most about football is the business side of things. And I don't feel like NFL owners have the same loyalty for their fans as the fans have for their team. Because if they did, they wouldn't have to be bargaining with cities to make these kind of deals, and they wouldn't put people's fandom on the lines and do this stuff. I mean, I really think it's terrible. I really, really do in a lot of cases. You look at the Rams situation and their move, I think that was really scummy. Same with San Diego. But the difference is with our situation, you know, our owner is a guy that doesn't have anything else. He doesn't have any other capital, doesn't have any other business or industry. He's inheriting the only asset that his family has. And if you have this city offering you the most money that's ever been handed out to any sports organization ever on the taxpayer dime, I mean, how could you not when you can't get that in your hometown? I mean, I feel like there's been a stalemate between the Raiders and Alameda County and the city of Oakland for so many years. And unfortunately, the NFL, these guys are demanding these state-of-the-art facilities to host Super Bowls. And I'm sorry, but that's where all the money is. The money is there for having a multi-purpose venue where the owners can profit off all this extra stuff and have PSLs. And it sucks to a big degree, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. That's why I'm really a Raiders fan, but so much of the business side of things and the ownership really irritates me, and I just don't think that they're as loyal as they should be to us, the people that make their sport legitimate to begin with.
I agree, but then we also have to look at the fact that just like you have to compete on the football field, as a business, you got to be able to compete too. And Oakland, the Raiders can't compete from that stadium with the rest of the NFL. And it sucks, but it is what it is. And at this point, unfortunately, it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
But it's, Oakland's always going to be part of who we are. So,
without question.
Even when I lived in Berkeley when they moved from Oakland to LA, and it hurt, and I was just a kid, but I was a diehard Raiders fan, and my family were all Raiders fan. I mean, we had a Cowboys fan in there too, but we all had the license plates and T-shirts, never will I say LA, and but we still supported the team. We had no choice. It's in your blood. You either stop supporting football altogether, or because you can't pick another team, right?
No.
So it's anyway.
If the Raiders go for whatever reason, if they decide that there's not a Raiders anymore, then I'm just done. I'm just done.
Exactly. Yeah,
I give up.
I hate 31 football teams, so
yep.
I can't be a fan of one of those other teams, so I would be done.
I do like the other team that pays me, but that's another reason. So.
Well, that's a whole different issue, man. Hey, you gotta pay those bills, man.
Yeah.
And the bills got to pay your bills, I guess. So that's pretty good.
They do. But they were going to move too, and if they moved, man, the city of Buffalo would be absolutely up in arms. And I really feel for those fans in California. And going there this past year to that game, I mean, I just thought about how much I was going to miss this experience in this area. Because that part of California is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love going there.
Yeah, the East Bay is great, man. But, that's pretty much all I have, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm going to squeeze this into our already 2-hour episode that's going to make it about 2.5, 3 hours, which is
all right
with me, man. We had a lot.
Yeah, the more the merrier, right?
We had a lot of fun recording last night, so it's a funny episode, and this will fit right in there. And I appreciate you taking the time. And what I would like to do is, we've got interviews lined up going all the way into the end of February now. But I'd like to get you back on at some point when you got all three of us, and we can make it the whole experience. And we'll just do a standalone, episode where we're just shooting the crap. Maybe somewhere around draft time.
That sounds great, and we got to get the president of our club, Joe Spinelli, on the line with us too. He's really the guy who started this whole thing, and the reason we have this club today. I mean, I got to tell you, his graphics, what he does for our club, I mean, he has some of the best graphics out there. I mean, he's a top graphic artist in the Rochester area as it is. So when he first started this club, and I think his graphics really legitimized so much of it and brought a lot of people in. But he definitely wants to join us on the line too, and we'd love to host you guys in Rochester if you're ever in the area. And next time I'm going down to Port Jervis, I'm going to have to stop in and say hello down at the Irish Cottage Inn.
Yeah, man, you just let us know, man. Let us know whenever you're going to be in the area, and we'll, even if it's not during the season, we'll make a party out of it. And
anytime. And Chuck, send me your shirt sizes for the three of you guys, because I'm going to be bringing those down with me when I come to visit you.
Hey, that's awesome, man. Thank you. You don't have to do that, but we appreciate it, and we'll proudly rock them. And then, and I'll chat with you offline too, man. I wanted to let you know that I think we're the only Raiders club that I know of that marches in an official St. Patrick's Day parade anywhere. But
no kidding.
But we're in one out here in our little county, in the county hub of Newton, New Jersey, and we march as a Raiders club, as the Black Hole, New Jersey, and we bring in people from as far as we had people up from Maryland last year. And it's wild, man, because, you got all these, we're in Jets and Giants territory, and all of a sudden, coming up over the hill, you see all these Raiders flags, and people are like, what the hell's going on? So
that is awesome.
We want to make that bigger every year, man. So I'll send you guys details on that if anybody wants to come down. They're more than welcome, and we finish it all off at the Irish Cottage Inn.
That sounds incredible, and I'm as Irish as they come too, so that sounds good for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's perfect, man. So I'll send you all that stuff. But anyway, man, thank you for the call, and this episode will be up tomorrow, and I'll send you the links and everything, and then just share it around, man. But I
appreciate that.
All right, man.
Yeah, Chuck, thanks so much for your time, and can't wait to talk to you guys again collectively, and I'll have Joe in there with us too, but I'm hoping you enjoy the off season so far as much as I do, and we'll figure out what we're playing in the next couple of weeks.
All right, sounds good, brother.
All right, Chuck, have a good night.
All right, you too. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Hey, what's up? You're listening to the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz, posted by the NJ Black Hole. We are here at the Irish Cottage in Hamburg, New Jersey.
Wow. So
there's no football to talk about.
No Raider football.
Well, kind of. You had Maylock at the national championship.
That's true, yeah.
On the wrong sideline.
Where Clemson...
yeah. He should have been looking at the Clemson defense and not the Alabama defense.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I'll tell you that the first half, the Clemson defense didn't really impress me either. I mean,
No.
I'll tell you what, we want to talk about football. The thing that was driving me insane, watching that Bears-Eagles game. Listen, I'm almost like I sent messages out to these guys here. I'm almost positive, if it presented the opportunity, Chris Collinsworth probably would have done some questionable things to Khalil Mack the way he was talking about him. I mean, give it a rest. I mean, the Bears, the last drive, they get a first down, they get it to field goal range to win the game. What do they do?
Your mic cut off again.
What do they do? They get in the first down position. Still no? How's that?
In and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, so the Bears drive.
You gotta get a Verizon mic.
The last drive to get into field goal range to win the game to go into the next round of the playoffs. They make the first down. Where does the camera go?
Khalil
Mack on the sideline. What the hell does he have to do with anything?
He didn't have to do nothing. He didn't do anything all game. He had no quarterback pressures and no sacks.
They even put him in on offense at one point.
Yes.
And he did nothing.
I mean, come on.
And I was watching that, and in the third quarter, they brought up the fact, Khalil Mack, we haven't even mentioned him. We haven't talked about him much tonight.
What?
And then they said, yeah, that's a name we haven't brought up tonight much. Khalil Mack, he's been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, we haven't mentioned Khalil Mack. You've just mentioned him 57 times.
Yes.
And he's done nothing.
By not mentioning him.
Yeah. I'm almost positive at one point you didn't hear Chris Collinsworth speaking. I think he actually went to the jewelry store and bought him an engagement ring to get to Khalil Mack after the game.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God! You would think he's like 12 Lawrence Taylors rolled into one.
But you see, you know what the moral of the story, kiddies, is? If you didn't have to pay your 12th rated defensive end in the league $25 million a year, you could afford a better kicker.
That's right.
Even though you're already paying, for some reason you're making
$9
this guy the highest paid kicker in the NFC or something. I heard.
I don't know.
For some reason, this guy is that. Who's signing his check?
Well,
you want his agent?
In his defense, it's been officially ruled that kick was blocked.
Yeah, it was blocked. Yes,
it was blocked.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah, but did you see all the replays of him warming up that he missed that kick? He was missing kicks like 9 times.
I had a guy tell me the other day how upset he's a Jets fan, so he doesn't know what he's talking about anyway. But he's, I talk to him a lot. He's a security guy where I work, so and he always wants to talk about sports, even though I only care about football. Yeah. But he still wants to talk to me about the Yankees and basketball. And
talk to Chuck about the
time.
Knicks.
And I'm like, I don't care.
Chuck looks like a lifelong Knicks fan.
Yeah.
He's a baller, man.
I was born a Knickerbocker. So he was upset. Did you watch the end of that Bears game? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I don't like that. When they blow the whistle on the kick like that, call a timeout like that. I'm like, that's part of the game, buddy.
Yes.
It never works. It worked that time.
I'm like,
it works like 8 out of 10
I'm like,
times. It works like, they make the kick 8 out of 10 times.
I'm like, if your coach doesn't call a timeout there, you better call for his head.
Yes, especially when you have one.
You have a timeout. What are you supposed to do with it?
Yeah.
Just burn it? I'm like, no, you're supposed to do that.
Yes.
He's like, oh, I just don't like it. I'm like, wow, I don't care if you like it or not. I'm like, it's like with the soccer guys flopping around on the field like that. Yeah. It's part of the game.
That's right.
It's part of the game. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that it's part of the game. Calling a timeout in a situation like that is part of the football game.
That's why you have.
That's how the game is played. It's
gamesmanship.
You don't call a timeout there. You're a jerk.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny because in a Khalil Mackless world, I would be very upset because I would have been rooting for the Bears to win. Because the Eagles I have no use for, and I would have been rooting for the Bears, but the whole Khalil Mack thing.
It gets like normally at this time of the year, like I'm not really rooting for anybody. There's certain teams that I would like to see.
I should say that. I would have liked to see the Bears win.
But this is a weird postseason.
Yeah.
Because I have to spit venom.
Yeah.
Because I can't deal with this.
There's two hated rivals and two other new hated rivals.
Two of our divisional rivals are in the playoffs.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just, Yeah. And I've even seen some Raiders fans saying that they're going to root for the Chargers.
No.
Because Phillip Rivers deserves...
No, Phillip Rivers
nothing.
doesn't deserve anything. Raiders fans, this is what you do. You root for Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy beats the Chargers. Tommy Boy beats the Chiefs. He goes into the Super Bowl.
And then you root for the NFC
And an
team.
NFC team beats him.
Right.
And you get everything you want.
Right.
Exactly.
and I'm not even going that far. I'm like in the Saints and the Colts. That Colts team, they look pretty solid.
That's a solid prediction for the Super Bowl right there.
I kind of like that.
Listen,
the Chargers they did everything they could to almost lose that game against.
As long as it's not
the Ravens.
as long as the Chargers and the Chiefs stay the hell away from Atlanta.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't see it happening.
The Cowboys stay the hell away from Atlanta because I'm tired of hearing about Amari Cooper because Amari Cooper is not. He's not a number one receiver.
Yeah, if you paid attention to the pregame before the Dallas game, there was a big segment where they spotlighted what he did when he had that 200-yard game against
the first game.
Against
his first game with the Cowgirls.
Yeah, but it was like whatever is that overtime game against Philly. He had like 200 and some yards receiving.
Right.
Then they spotlighted since then Since that game, the last 4 games, he had 13 catches for 80 yards.
Right.
so
he's had
he had a big game last week. So this week you're looking at about 2 for 26.
And he's done the same thing when he was on our team.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and here's the deal. We said it when you can go back and listen to the older episodes. I wanted to keep Cooper.
Sure.
Okay? But I said very clearly on this show, if there's some moron out there that's going to give us a first-round pick for this guy,
there you go. We found that moron.
Take him.
Exactly.
I'm all in.
Yep.
And listen,
I'm not giving him up for like a 5th round or whatever, but if you're going to give us a first-round pick for Amari Cooper,
right. Listen,
take him.
Listen, we got a first-round pick.
Uh-oh. We lost Fitz again.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, now
You
I'm
gotta
going to
hold
be
it
like
Lemmy.
If you hear,
now he looks like Henry Rollins holding the microphone.
He does look like
Henry
Henry
Rollins.
Rollins
Does.
anyway.
He looks like Rollins.
if you hear a thud, my hand fell asleep, but I dropped on mic. Listen, not only do we get a number 1 pick for Cooper, we're going to shave a turd load of cash. We're going to avoid the whole. He was going to do exactly what Mac did. He was going to sit out, and he was not going to.
Yeah, because Siegel was. No, we lost you again. Siegel's going to do the same thing he did with Mac.
He already said he is.
Yeah.
And the team knew it.
Yeah,
they were like, hey, they're giving us a first-round pick.
Right.
Yes.
So, and everybody's like, oh, and here's the thing, like, but once he came to Dallas, then they started,
No, they didn't.
Come on.
No.
Amari Cooper had 1 good game with them, right? After that, they got there without Amari Cooper.
Yes, they got there with Elliott.
Yeah, if you listen or if you paid attention, I don't know the exact stats because I don't care, but it's actually hysterical because when Cooper goes to Dallas, and all of a sudden all the headlines are going to be, or Prescott and Cooper, can they save Dallas? Or they're the saviors? They're forgetting, scumbag or not, the best player on that team is Elliott. And right after all that stuff, that's when Elliott ran wild.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Elliott's the guy that's going to save that team, and nobody else.
I've just never seen anything like it in my life. Like, I mean, I got to admit, like, I've been a Raiders fan a long time. But until we started like the club here and the podcast and all that, I didn't really pay attention to all these Raiders groups on Facebook.
No,
exactly. Me neither.
It's just I've never seen so many people like when these guys get traded and they get and they get so pissed off about it. Like, are you a fan of the Raiders or are you a fan of these guys?
Yeah,
these players.
Not me, man. I'm a fan of the jersey.
If you're on the team, I love you.
Yeah.
If you're not,
and I might, if you're not playing well, I might give you some crap, but I still love you.
Yep.
Listen, Jamarcus Russell was a bum. I backed him while he was there. When he was on the team, I was like, okay, this is the guy.
This is who's guiding the ship.
They're building the team around him.
Yeah.
Everything they've done is built around this guy.
Yeah.
Didn't work. All right. Once he's gone, I don't
even care.
Don't care about you.
Yes.
But these guys that they haven't even been playing that long.
No.
Cooper and Mac and you're gone. They're not on the team. Screw them.
Yes.
Right. And the fans piss me off with like what you're saying with the fans and I get the sportscasters because it's only because of the jealousy.
Keep going in and out.
What about now? It's only because of the jealousy, Gruden, that the sportscasters are all flipping and on the Raiders and every little move they make. It's because they're jealous that Gruden left their ranks and scored. He scored an armored car.
I think a lot of it is, but if you watch the sports shows now, not the season's over, and they're talking about the draft, all of a sudden you start hearing from all these idiots. Whoa, the Raiders got themselves in a pretty good situation.
Well, because now they're going to try to save face.
Yeah, now all of a sudden it's like, the Raiders are going to control the whole thing. And I even heard one say the other day, watch out for when they're in Vegas because this team is going to be good for a long time.
I wish those same guys would say, these guys are in a great position. I mean, they got rid of Mac, saved all that. They got rid of Cooper, because they're talking out of two sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
They're still crapping down our throats for getting rid of those guys and talking about That's part of the reason
Yes.
we're in such a good position.
The person that I heard say it had crapped on the Raiders a bunch.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's like, whoa, they find themselves in an envious position compared to the other teams.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, they'll start saying it about Mac now that Mac's out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna diss that move if Mac is still in the mix here.
You want to see Khalil Mack's future? Look at Ndamukong Suh.
There you go.
Signs that huge monster contract with Detroit, making the same money as Mac.
Right.
Okay. Detroit doesn't win. Well, we got to cut salary to get other people. Trade him to Miami. Plays there what? A season? One season. You know, $28 million a year, whatever he's making. Okay, we can't afford you. Trade him to the Rams. Rams get him one season. You know, same thing. Now all of a sudden, he's on the trading block.
Right. And
remember
all the talk? Oh my God, Sue to the Rams with the rest of that defense. They're gonna Donald. Oh my God, they're gonna be the greatest defense
but you know
in the
what?
history of
Yeah,
football.
but you know what? They're paying Donald.
That's
Can't
right.
afford to pay Sue. See you later. Let somebody else take up the 4th year option on his contract.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking at with Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
If the Bears don't win. Because the Bears got to pay quarterbacks, they got to pay everybody else.
That's what I told my buddy.
You know?
He was a big
That's
Bears
it.
fan. I go, you're gonna have to pay Trubisky.
They signed him
Yep.
because they were in a position that they could afford him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Right? You're out of the playoffs. You got to come back next season.
You're not getting that extra revenue that you were counting
You
on.
got to,
Right.
Trubisky there.
Yeah. You can't
Yeah.
pay him in Polish
You know?
sausages anymore.
No.
You're gonna
have to pay him at some point.
Yep.
So what are you going to do now? You know? And, I get it. You take the guy, we're all in.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Well, now what?
Right. And like I said,
And
he's
what
not even the
what
best.
happens is when it comes time to have to give these other players big contracts, they're going to start shopping Mac.
And at least
that's what's going to happen.
we saw in the future.
Yes.
We're like, if I, and we offered him a lot of money.
Yes.
Hey, when we opened
That's
that first
the other
offer-
thing you knuckleheads forget. We offered him a lot of money.
Twice. The first offer
And
was before
twice.
Donald even signed, and it was the highest.
Twice.
The highest
Yeah.
out there.
Twice he said no.
Yeah. Guess what? Like I said,
And you guys
I
are
said
still swinging from his, what?
And like I said a couple podcasts ago,
I have to get a beer.
I don't even think he's the best player. He's not even the best defensive player on that Bears team.
No.
So there it is.
The rookie's better than him.
Absolutely.
It's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. it's their problem now, not ours. As we,
I just can't wait until everything comes together, right? And we start winning games, whether it's next season or the season after.
Right.
Here's the deal, Raider Nation. I've been doing this a long time. I've proven that I am patient.
Yeah.
Because
oh yeah.
Because I've been saying next year since before most of you were born.
Yeah.
And I like what I see right now.
Yeah.
In the office, and things are starting to line up.
Right.
I think and it could all blow up. It could all go.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't
think
either.
a plan's in place.
Yes.
There's a reason why we got rid of high-priced good players. But listen, nobody's saying that Mac wasn't a good player. Nobody's saying that Cooper. They were good players. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
They are. Switzer. Don't forget about Switzer.
All right.
But seriously, I mean, after all those moves are all gone, then towards the end of the season, forget that whatever fiddle that last Kansas City game was. We played our best football the last half of that last quarter of that season.
Yes.
We were out there to play, and you know what? Like I said, maybe I didn't say it on the podcast. Maybe I did. I might have said it.
Lost you again.
Maybe I said it in just regular conversation. I was looking at like an 8-8 season this year.
Yeah, I mean, we were all hoping for.
So I wasn't thinking
at
we were
least
going to the
8.
playoffs because all of a sudden we got Gruden and we're going to the playoffs. I was figuring 8-8. And you know what? Towards towards the end of that season, a couple plays here or there, we were close to. We were a 7-9, maybe 6-10. We were close.
Yeah, look, the season's over. It sucked, but we had a blast. But we saw things happening. in the front office. We saw things happening. A lot of a lot of you guys get upset because your favorite player left or whatever. I don't have a favorite player. I like the Raiders.
Yeah, I have favorite players, but
I have favorite players, but they don't play football anymore.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, exactly. And it might shock people. Some of them aren't even Raiders. But you know what? I've never bought anything with their name on it and their team.
Two of my two favorite Raiders are dead, basically.
Sure, yeah. No, look, but the players that are my favorites got there because they earned it, not because of how many fantasy points they got me
or contract or what they did in the last 3 years of college.
Right. I don't care about any of that crap. I'm not, I got my guys. And I grew up, watching these guys beat the crap out of people on the football field, and I got guys that I hate. I got guys that I love.
Yeah.
And, it's a different world now. I understand, it's recycled players, blah, blah, blah. But, here's the deal. We're building this team. I think Carr's going to be the guy. A lot of you.
I think Carr's going to be the guy.
We're not getting Eli Manning.
Idiots out there talking about, trade Carr, and now, and stop following the clickbait.
Yeah, no. Carr's our quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Listen, just because
it would make
Giants,
absolutely no sense right now to get rid of Carr.
No.
Exactly.
Who are you going to get?
No, exactly.
And you know who said that? Michael Kay. Here's a New York sportscaster who's baseball.
Right.
And even he was like, the Raiders ain't getting rid of Derek Carr.
No.
Right.
There's no way. He goes, who are you going to find that's better? He goes, they need defense. He goes, they're not going to draft a quarterback because then they still have no defense.
Right.
Listen.
And we still have no O-line.
This was all in the context of them talking about the Giants and Jets and the draft and everything.
Listen, and that's what cracked me up because, on our Facebook page, our Black Hole page, somebody brought that up. And it makes sense that the Giants are interested in Derek Carr. They should be interested in him because he's a very good quarterback, and their quarterback is 39 years old.
Yes.
That doesn't mean we're going to trade Derek Carr for Eli Manning, you idiots.
Right.
No,
that wasn't going to be part of the trade.
But the way they were talking, it's like...
No, I believe they were saying we trade Carr to the Giants for the Giants' first-round pick. There's no way the Giants are going to trade their first-round pick when they're rebuilding worse than the Raiders are.
Yeah, the Giants suck more than we do.
Yes, the Raiders have the Giants have a marquee player that's young that they have to build around. They ain't trading that first-round pick for nothing.
No, I laugh because somebody, and I forget who it was. I have to go back. Somebody did write, please don't get Eli Manning.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're an idiot.
I mean, if anything, the Giants might swap picks with us.
Yeah.
If anything happens, so the Giants can trade up to get their quarterback.
Listen, I'm gonna say,
and then we get more picks,
and then we get,
and then all you guys freak out. Why did we do that?
Yeah, that's gonna happen, and I can't wait. Am I still here?
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna make my draft day prediction here, and I can't wait to see Chris Potts losing Cottage when we're watching the draft. Where they go, and next up, the Raiders. And the Raiders have traded their draft pick.
Well, Paul Miller,
I don't think
he comes with his laptop and his all these.
Yeah, I don't think that the Raiders aren't going to trade their draft pick. They might swap with the Giants.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant. Swap. I meant swap. Yeah, not trade. That's what I meant. Swap out. They're not going to.
Yeah, and they're not going to lose too much if they swap with the Giants.
No.
They go from what 4th to 6th.
Either way, Derek Carr's not going to be on the Giants.
Listen, I don't see that happening.
Like I said,
mark my words. Just like I told you, Khalil Mack wasn't going to be traded.
Yes,
but like
we were sure of that.
Well, listen,
I said there was a less than a 1% chance.
Yes.
Well,
there you go.
1% chance.
When Chuck offers you odds, take it.
But like Chuck said when we were all talking about this on the page, okay, trade Carr if there's somebody better.
Sure.
First off,
there's
nobody better.
No.
And second, like I said, I don't care. Like him or hate him, we can get Tom Brady. You know what's going to happen if the Raiders get Tom Brady?
He's going to get sacked 57 times.
Just like we did an offensive line.
Yeah, because he's out of his system.
But we need to shore up the O-line. If
Yes.
somebody's getting sacked over 50 times a season, you need to make adjustments on the offensive line.
Yes.
Right.
And you know what? They did towards the later half.
Yeah.
Because people came back.
Right.
We had guys back.
Sure.
And Carr started scrambling more.
Yeah.
Which he hasn't done in quite a while.
And
he started scrambling more.
Other thing
that led to success.
The other thing people forget about football, okay, is it's not just a matter of your O-line being able to block what's coming at them, okay, and giving your quarterback time. It's also a matter of your quarterback having to be where his O-line thinks he's going to be at the time, okay?
Yes.
Now, when you're bringing in substitutes and guys, that stuff all kind of gets lost.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so there's timing. There's a lot of stuff goes into this that, you know, from the couch, it's easy to go, he sucks.
Yeah.
But there's a strategy and there's planning here that involves a lot of things happening perfectly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And things don't always go perfectly. Some teams come in and they're very good at planning.
They knock you off your game, and that's it.
You look, the Chargers came in well prepared for the Ravens.
Yes.
They had a game plan, and it worked.
Yes.
Right.
Indy in Houston.
Right.
Game plan, it worked.
Big time.
You know, but when you have a quarterback,
Chicago wasn't planning on Philly hanging around.
When you have a
it didn't work.
quarterback with an offensive line that are gelled together and their timing is right, everything's perfect, they all understand the plays, what's going to happen.
Right.
That line knows exactly where the quarterback's going to be, when he's going to be there. They don't have to look back and watch the quarterback, right?
No.
They know what's going on. Now, when you rotate these new guys in, guys are getting injured. You're bringing guys in from, we just got,
we were at the car wash. We seen this guy.
Yeah, we just got Joe Biddley Bob from the Texans to come, brought him off the practice squad. And things start to fall apart.
Yes.
And it's not a matter of, that guy sucks. No, that guy doesn't know the system. He doesn't,
Yeah.
So you have to, everything has to work out perfectly.
Odell Beckham Jr. said it perfect, and he caught a lot of
Good,
crap.
because I'm not. I'm screwing it all up.
He caught a lot of crap in the New York press for it. When they asked him about, like, the offensive line affecting Eli. And he looked him straight in the eye and said, it not only affects Eli, he goes, do you guys realize that us wide receivers are racing the defensive ends?
Right.
He goes, we're literally racing the defensive ends down the field. Right. Defensive ends have 10 yards to go. He goes, we have 30.
Yeah.
He goes, so it doesn't only affect Eli.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And he caught a lot of crap for that, but that's the truth.
It's the truth.
That's the truth.
Absolutely, man. They should all be taking these guys out for steak dinner.
Yeah. Right. He's like, I got to race a guy that's only got to go 10 yards. I got to run 30.
Right.
He goes, I got to be there.
Yeah.
Or else Eli gets sacked.
Yeah.
It's all a machine. It's all, they all have to work together. That all being said, we know that. And I'm still going to say that guy sucks when he misses. Because
of course, yeah.
So
sure.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Potts was ready for Jared Cook's head on the last episode. Yeah. It's like, come on. The dude's been playing like a madman. You got to give him one play, and all of a sudden you're ready to kill him?
Yeah, trade him.
You're not allowed to do you're dead to me.
Yeah,
that's my bet, Potts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't think it through.
No, you don't think it through.
He gets too emotional with his pitchers of beer and his stomping around.
The sad part is most of the time he's not drinking.
No, but that week he was. His wife drove.
His wife drove.
He was hammered.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to do you're dead to me. You gotta. We'll give you your own bit, Potts.
Yeah.
You can the Potts meltdown, and then you can say all that goofy stuff you want about Jared Cook. But Jared Cook's Jared Cook's a good. He's been
that should be the first signing of the year.
Yeah,
should be Jared Cook.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if they don't. He'll be back.
Yeah, I would think he should. He was. Yeah, he was the offensive stud the Raiders had all year.
He was our number one receiver.
Exactly.
Yeah. And hey, Nelson, at the last few games,
came on.
Yeah.
How about that? We saved a lot of money with Mac and going forward with Cooper. Imagine, you shore up your old line, get everybody going together. We got Jordan who wants to come back. We got Cook. Now, just imagine. I don't know what they'd want for him, but throwing Antonio Brown in that mix.
I don't know if Antonio Brown's going to coexist with Gruden.
I don't know.
That
would be crazy though.
Here's my take on that.
Le'Veon Bell, yes.
Here's
Le'Veon Bell. The Raiders should be all in on Le'Veon Bell.
Here's my take
on
Antonio Brown. He's a great receiver.
Yeah, no question.
And
quite possibly the best in the league.
And the asking price is really not that much.
No, it's not.
Okay, and you look at the last few years with the Raiders with Crab and Coop. I don't know, maybe we could use a prima donna out there.
Maybe we could.
Because these guys...
I'm not against it, but
these
I
guys
just
were
don't...
like lethargic.
I'm not against it in the slightest.
No.
I just think he wouldn't coexist good with Gruden
He may not.
unless he sees something he really likes, and he's like, okay, I will play for you.
Right. And
and if he's happy, the guy plays ball really good.
And there's a possibility that you know.
Oh, I could see them definitely banging heads.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there for fodder because now you have the best receiver in football available to throw in there with a still great Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
Now it's like, whew.
I mean, you got a lot of cap room. I'd sign Le'Veon Bell, and then
I said that.
Mr. Skittles comes back, man. He's that short yardage frickin' pounder, baby.
But on the other hand, I think that they also look and go, because Skittles has expressed, hey, if the Raiders want me back, I'll be back.
Right. I think he's going to be back.
You know,
I really think he's going to be back.
He said, if they want me back, I'll be back.
Yes.
And Gruden has already said, basically, he wants him back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
I think if you have him and you have Doug Martin playing like he's been playing the last few games.
Yeah, well, don't forget you get Chris Warren III back,
and Chris
too.
Warren III. I don't know. We need to blow a nut on Le'Veon Bell.
No,
you know, if.
Listen, I liked what Chris Warren was doing before he got hurt. Doug Martin, not falling into the trap of Doug Martin. Yeah, he turned it on good. And like I was telling Tom that last game, I go, it's almost like he's like Ricky Henderson. It's like I'm up for contract. I'm going to play my ass off. They're going to re-sign me. And then I'm going to dog it.
Yeah.
Chris Warren, but Le'Veon Bell's Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. He's a proven commodity, and he's far better than Doug Martin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
something will happen. But if they sign Le'Veon Bell, then they got to make a decision. Chris Warren's going to have to sit another year.
Yeah.
While Lynch is in there,
or
Lynch says and use him as a third, as a third back.
Right.
Which might be good considering he had the knee injury last year. Might be good for him to sit another year, get sporadic. maybe get 150, 200 carries.
I'll tell you,
playing behind those guys, catch some passes, get back into the game, get the swing of the things.
Sure.
So we mentioned those two names, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah? No?
Yes.
You hear me? Coming. Our own mad scientist from our New Jersey Black Hole chapter is itching to go buy those Raiders jerseys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bell,
he wants it right now.
Please sign him. Because he's already pre-ordered.
Yeah, he's got a pre-order in.
He's got his Miller jersey coming. Man, that's another guy I'd love to see come over, man.
Yes.
And the Donkeys are talking about trading him now.
That would be massive.
How awesome would that be?
Hey, screw you, Mac.
That would be my off-season wish list. Get Le'Veon Bell and get Von Miller.
People are going, but he's old. He's Von Miller.
He's old. Listen, he's not old. He's only 30 years old.
Yeah, well, to these kids, that's old.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate
that dude's been a wreck. When everything's said and done, he's gonna.
That guy will rock your world
far above Khalil Mack and everything.
That guy, you talk about the made-up generational player. You can't compare Khalil Mack to Von Miller.
No.
I had some idiots arguing with me on the interwebs the other day. I'm like, on what planet do you live on where Khalil Mack and Von Miller are even the same? I'm like, look, I loved Mack when he was on, but if there was ever an opportunity to get rid of Mack and bring Von Miller, I'm all over Von Miller.
Yeah, I said that when we were talking about the whole Mack thing. I said, listen, the two best defensive players in football are J.J. Watt and Von Miller.
Yeah.
If they pay either of these guys, Mac, Donald, anything more than those guys, they're morons.
Yeah.
And they did.
Because
they're morons.
You're not going to argue there's no two better people than Von Miller and J.J.
Those guys set the standard on the field. I don't care what you idiots do with your agents and your contracts and your paychecks, but on the football field, you talk about the defense, J.J. Watt, Von Miller are the guys that set the standard.
Yes.
You can't you can't touch those guys.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you look, J.J. Watt missed a year and 3 quarters. Comes back this year, has 16 sacks, an interception, 7 strip fumbles.
Right.
Yeah.
3 recoveries.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's after a year and a quarter off.
Yeah, with a completely blown out knee and a broken leg.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Khalil Mack sacked that janitor that was the backup that came in for.
Oh, we lost you. Go, say it again.
Okay, Khalil Mack came in.
No.
Khalil Mack came in and sacked the janitor, the French fry guy that came in for Aaron Rodgers in the first game.
Yeah.
He recovered that fumble. Well, big deal.
Yep.
Right. They had the kid came in from the punt, pass, kick competition earlier. Yeah.
He got the most balls through the tire, so he got to play for the Packers that night.
Yes. Yeah. And both of these guys we're talking about, by the way, had more sacks, more strip fumbles, better stats than Khalil Mack.
Yeah. And over the length of their careers, they're going to have phenomenal numbers.
Yeah.
It's too bad that
Von Miller has played 2 more years than Khalil Mack, and he has twice as many sacks.
It's too bad that you guys can't draft individual defensive players for your fantasy teams.
Oh, they can't?
No. You only take a defense.
Oh, you have to take the whole team.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you then you guys would really understand, because I think that's all you knuckleheads pay attention to out there. Your fantasy crap.
Yeah.
If you were able to look at the individual stats of a defense instead of just the whole team, well, you are able to do that, but you choose not to because you're only concerned about your fantasy team.
Yeah.
Right? But then you would see, and I'm not, listen, I am not knocking the skill set, the athleticism, and the abilities of Khalil Mack.
No.
He's a good football player.
He's not Von Miller.
You're comparing him to his peers.
Right. Who are better than he is.
Yes.
And if I can get one of those guys on my football team,
sure,
I'm very happy.
Yes.
And remember, Khalil Mack is not on my football team.
No.
I'm a Raiders fan.
Yes.
Not a Khalil Mack fan.
No.
I'm not an Amari Cooper fan.
No.
I'm not a Michael Crabtree fan.
I got to say, when we talk about...
He's a 49er anyway.
That's right. When we talk about Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of the St. Patrick's Day parade that we're going to be in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
St. Patrick's Day parade.
Isn't that the 16th of March?
Yeah. The same night that Murphy's the day after Murphy's Law is playing at Stanhope House. Our own Murphy's Law that you hear in our opening credits.
So folks, the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole, I believe, are the only Raiders club in
a St. Patrick's Day parade
on the planet Earth.
On the planet Earth,
especially out of the state of.
In a St. Patrick's Day parade
in Sussex County, New Jersey,
and we're in Sussex County, New Jersey, and we're, this is a thing that we're going to be doing every year. We did it last year. We're doing it this year.
They
and we
couldn't
just
wait to ask us back.
We want to make it bigger every year. So all you people that want to come hang out, that's the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, we'll put you on the float, man.
Put you on a float. You can, but we.
Paul Miller, float.
Listen,
work on that there, pal.
A Raiders club marching in an East Coast St. Patrick's Day parade in Jets and Giants country.
Yes.
The looks that we get from people, it's great.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Hey, listen, we had one member from Maryland chapter come up last year.
That's right.
And listen, I know we talked about this early on in the summer. Was it Syracuse? The Syracuse chapter we talked to, was it early in the summertime?
Yeah, we want to get
they
them
expressed
down.
interest in coming down.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, calm down. Let us know how many. We'll see about. We could try to find you cheap places to stay or something.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. It's a good time. We go back to our host bar after. Damien, Peter, they're awesome. and it's a great place.
Yeah,
and
they'll
it's a good
section
time.
a whole spot off for us, and it's real hard to get seats in there on St. Patty's Day, but when we're coming back from that parade, we'll reserve a whole section.
Yeah, well, the lucky part is it's still going to be crowded because it's parade day, but it's the day before St. Patty's Day, so it won't. It's still going to be busy. So if you guys listen, if you crazy nuts from like Syracuse or more people from Maryland, if you think you want to come, let us know. So we can set that all up so we can have our own spot, designated for us.
Yeah, Jersey Shore, anybody that wants to come up, man.
Hell, man, I can fit 3 people in here and sleep.
I've already talked to I've even invited our friend Peggy.
Oh yeah. That's it. Hey,
so
we get some tequila and some Rosie, and then it's all on.
Yeah,
we'll talk about a whole lot of Rosie.
Last year,
you get to hear
no,
some
it's
tequila.
St. Patty's Day. She brought Jameson last time.
Well, that's it. I'm just going back to our Maryland
you
game.
weren't there, so she showed up. She was pouring the Jameson in everybody's coffee that morning.
Yeah,
there wasn't a Carlos then.
No, that was pre-Carlos.
No, he's not wearing any Jet stuff in our. Yeah, we'll make him pull the float.
We get one of those.
We'll give him a little Jets flag. Yeah, and he can walk behind our float going JTS Jets.
Am I back on here now?
Carlos.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, cool. We're back in. I'm just not even going to touch this now.
Carlos was pissed in Baltimore, man. He was not impressed with those people. When that fat guy took off his shirt and started doing that Ravens call, he went freaking ballistic.
Listen,
Baltimore. He was like, "Are you kidding me? You're stealing the Jets crap." He's like, "Losers," and those Baltimore fans around him were not happy.
Listen, I think
that's what I told. I think that's when I told the guys behind me in Potts that I was gonna. I pointed. I was like, "I'm gonna toss you down there," and then they all shut up.
Listen, Baltimore don't. They're all regulards.
Regulards.
Listen,
dribblers.
Like I said to the dope in front of me, who was going on and on. He's going on and on, making the comments about Gruden. I go 3 weeks ago, you guys were ready to hang your coach.
Yes,
the best coach you've ever had in your franchise history, and then going on about Card. I go, and your Joe Flacco, the best quarterback you had. I go, now you don't even care that he's alive anymore.
No.
And getting on that point, that last playoff game, at what point your season's ending? Your season's ending. You have the clock is ticking away in the playoffs. You think maybe it's time to bring Flacco in? You're the best quarterback you've ever had as a Raven?
Yeah,
I mean, this kid is doing nothing. Flacco's on the sideline. He's ready to go.
I don't know why. I have no idea why they didn't bring Flacco in for that game.
Oh, then
they would have brought in Trent Dilfer.
They could have. And because of that decision, I gotta look at the damn Chargers one more week.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, Baltimore.
And
do us a solid here.
And it's funny because, supposedly the fans were chanting it, and they had a couple of players yelling at the fans saying, don't be Johnny come latelys, you got to support the guy that got you here. Yeah. Flacco's the guy who built your franchise.
Yeah.
How's that? He's the one who's gotten you to everywhere you've been up until this season. When they pulled him for whatever reason. Yeah. So
he's the reason you're a contender every year, according to the talking heads.
Exactly.
It's because you have Joe Flacco.
Listen, if we didn't have a Derek Carr and we had some random quarterback, I would be like, hey, let's make a play for Flacco. Because apparently they don't want him in Baltimore. I would take him in a second.
Sure, Flacco's not that old.
No. He's got a hell of an arm on him.
Sure.
He'd be a good steal. The Giants should be looking at him. They want to get rid of Eli.
Sure.
Go after Flacco.
Why not?
Yeah.
Then again, I don't care what the Giants do. But
No,
not at all.
But, we are the fan club Blitz, and we should talk about other teams.
Yeah.
Other than the Raiders,
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, the Raiders aren't doing much this year except for...
We're not doing anything now.
Not doing anything now but retooling. But, there's other crap to talk about because everything that goes on affects us one way or another.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And listen, I'll talk about another team right now.
That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm kind of glad we're doing it Saturday. We're going to have a show and we can critique the Chiefs Colts game.
Yep, absolutely.
Listen,
I just got to figure out this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about another team right now. Okay, I'm going to talk about the Jets. Like Chuck said earlier, we're playing. Come on out to the Jets Raiders game, and you can get some our patented Dirtwater dogs and lasagna.
No, we're not having lasagna. I'll buy pizzas.
No, we're having lasagna too. We got to have lasagna too. We get the pizzas, but we gotta. That's.
We're not having lasagna unless it's after Thanksgiving.
Well, no, not that. Now we're doing it right. Now we're gonna do it right. We're gonna. I already have people on it. We're gonna some real Italian, not the Weiss frozen lasagnas. We're doing the whole North Jersey Italian thing here now.
That's right.
We might have some guys in silk suits that you know, if you look at us a little sideways, you might have a problem. So
right.
we're gonna do it right.
Okay, I'll eat real lasagna.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we'll do it good this time.
Yeah.
I got some secret stuff going on.
Cool.
That's it. We're working on it.
We get some grills going and stuff.
We've made some contacts.
We're just gonna say MetLife is gonna be a lot blacker and silvier than you think.
We've made some contacts with people who have some inside scoop on doing this sort of thing every year.
Okay.
They know some things about some stuff.
They know some people. They know some things.
All right.
They're ready to sit down and have a chat with me next week.
Nice.
So,
yes, I have an idea who it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
And that's very cool of them to do that.
Absolutely. I reached out to them.
That is very cool of them.
They were like, absolutely.
Yes. That is very cool of them to help us out like that.
What did they say? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they're not really our enemies.
No, but they're the enemies of the.
We're the enemy of their enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
That day, so we're their friends.
Yes, yeah.
So they're like, so yeah. So our buddy's gonna sit down with me and give me some inside intel on how to make things work, how they do things, and
cool. Yeah, they have a pretty big shindig.
They have a huge shindig.
Yeah,
man.
so they would know, man.
Yeah, they have a huge shindig, and they do it every year.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I believe when we talked to them, they said it basically took them all year to plan this.
Yep.
You know, and that's their one big thing because it takes them all year to plan.
Yeah, so they're going to, I'm like, hey, we're playing out here against the Jets. He's like, I'm busy this week. Hit me up after Monday. I'll sit down with you. He's like, help you out any way I can. He's like, in fact, our caterer is actually a Raiders fan.
Nice.
He's like, he's like, yeah, man.
All right, hold on. We might not be having lasagna.
He's like, I got no problem. He's like, I tell you who my contacts are, the whole
deal,
so.
Yeah, sure. Benefits all of us, man. Spread it around.
Yeah, you know. And then there's the mutual, the relationship with the pubs.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like family.
So they're not going to be doing any, they're not going to be doing anything there.
No.
Friday, Saturday night.
Nope.
So talk to them. We need a place for fans to go.
Yeah.
It'll
all work out.
Might be able to take that spot.
Yep. Nice.
Hey.
That would be cool.
Anyway, I'm done.
Yeah. All right. Well,
next week.
Next week, man.
Next week?
Well, yeah.
Well, Saturday.
Next week for everybody.
We'll see
listening.
each other Saturdays, but the rest is we'll hear it next week.
Yeah.
Try not to miss us too much.
Yeah. Okay, later, skaters.
Later.
All right, this is Tom. I guess we're going to be wrapping up our show here. If you have any questions for me, or you want to call in and talk about anything you want on the Raider Fan Club Blitz, our number is 732-798-0257. Feel free. Ask me about Mr. Skittles. I love Mr. Skittles. We're also going to give a shout out to the Irish Cottage, our home base. They are located at 602 Route 23 North in Franklin, New Jersey. And their number is 973-827-2090. And give us a call. Let us know what you think. Questions, comments, anything you want to say. Feel free. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Yeah, I think you wanted you wanted the black ones. Okay. No. Right, now we got microphone issues.
Okay.
No. We're having all kinds of fun tonight. Bear with us, folks.
No Fitz yet.
No Fitz. We can't win.
No.
It's got to be. They're all brand spanking new. And basically, you know.
Yeah, it's not like we bang them around like,
Take it out of the box,
Yeah.
put it back in the box. Take it out of the box, put it back in the box. We're not, I mean, I've abused microphones in my lifetime.
I mean, it's not like we're Jeff Clayton of Andy Scene banging them on our head with barbed wire wrapped on
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
try the old one and just jiggle the wire.
we got issues.
That's what I would do. Just
But,
use the old one. Just jiggle the wire.
yeah, jiggle.
That's what you got to do, man.
But yeah, we were supposed to have Kevin on from Rochester. I'm going to try and do an interview with him over the phone tomorrow and edit it into this show. Just a shame you guys can't be part of it. How about did you guys should we talk about those voicemails that we got?
How about now?
Yeah, you can hear you now.
I mean, I'm going to play
I don't
it.
know.
I just don't know how to play it right now so that you guys can hear it because
Because we don't know what the F we're doing.
I listened to it Saturday.
Sure.
So there's been a lot of
it's been some clouds.
There's been 2 420s a day since then.
Basically, the gist of it. Was, Tom's got an illegal smile.
No, he's talking about that Sweetwater beer, the 420 IPA.
Yeah. Basically, the gist of it was, whether you're in Oakland, California, Syracuse, New York, or
Key West.
Yeah, wherever the hell you are.
Yeah, somebody calling from Key West.
If you're not listening to the Fan Club Blitz, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Or something like that.
We got a first round?
No, yeah, we lost you.
How about that?
No, you're in and out. I love technology, but not as much as you see. Uh-oh. You're going in and out again.
No.
No. No.
Hello? How's that?
There
you go.
All right, so